This episode of FineScale Modeler's New Product Rundown features Tamiya's M40, HobbyBoss's Danton, Zvezda's SU-33 Flanker, Trumpeter's ZSU-57-2, and Tarangus's Bulldog T1.
I'm Elizabeth Nash, and welcome to the New Product Rundown.
I'm Aaron Skinner. We've got a bunch of stuff to get through. Let's get started with Tamiya's M40 in 1/35th scale.
The M40 gun motor carriage carried a 155mm gun on a modified M4A3 chassis with horizontal volute spring suspension and a Continental engine.
One vehicle made it to Europe during World War II, but many were used in Korea in the 1950s.
The AFV Club produced a 1/35th scale kit about 10 years ago.
This is Tamiya's first foray into M40 territory, and the kit looks to be a winner.
Just as with Tamiya's recent Shermans, the lower hull builds from a bottom plate and separate sides with the gun mount in the middle.
To that is added the fenders, fighting compartment walls, and the engine deck.
Photo-etched grills fill the vents on the engine cover.
The HVSS parts appear to be the same as those from the Easy 8 kit, including nicely done road wheels, idlers, and drive sprockets.
The one-piece vinyl tracks do a nice job replicating the T80 steel chevron tracks used during the Korean War.
The upper hull comprises sides, stowage boxes, ammunition racks, cupolas, hatches, rear plates, and the rear gate.
The gate can be posed up or down, as can the spade. Thread and chain is provided for the lifting winches. More thread is used for the tow cable.
Clear parts provide the cupola vision blocks and headlights.
There's a bunch more detail, including seats, a transmission cover with cast texture, tools, and light guards.
The M40's reason for being, the big 155mm gun, is on full display. In addition to the two-part barrel, it includes the mount, cradle, trunnions, recoil mechanism, controls, gun shields, and a breech that can be posed open or closed.
8 figures are included, all posed to show a crew loading a round.
Extra rounds and propellant chargers round out the scenic supplies.
Decals provide markings for 2 900th and 37th Field Artillery M40s in Korea. Both are named Courageous Confederate and Aita's Enkis.
Separately, Tamiya offers a turned aluminum barrel and turned brass rounds.
As with everything Tamiya does, this should be a straightforward build.
Yeah, and it offers a lot of opportunities for display or diorama. Next, we ship out with HobbyBoss's 1/350th scale Danton, a French pre-dreadnought battleship.
Launched in 1909 as the lead ship in her class, the Danton carried 4 305mm guns in turrets both fore and aft, and 12 240mm guns and 6 turrets along the sides.
Easy for you to say. Serving primarily in the Mediterranean, the ship was sunk off Sardinia by a U-boat in March 1917.
This full hull model consists of terrific halves with molded portholes, hatches, and casemates.
The kit features HobbyBoss's usual stand along with a molded nameplate.
Sturdy braces bolster the hull.
In preparation for the decks, both the main and aft decks show molded plates with other fittings.
Slide molded superstructure components feature windows and hatches as well as thin railing edges.
Hull details include the rudder, strakes, propulsion shafts, and more.
Casemate decks insert behind the hull sides, and the funnels consist of halves with separate caps.
The Danton's 2 cranes amidships include open frames and arms.
The 305mm gun turrets have slide molded structures.
As do the 240mm turrets. The guns have open muzzles and can be elevated. There's plenty of detail in the smaller armament too.
HobbyBoss provides comprehensive photo-etched brass in the kit, in addition to railings and ladders.
The PE parts include funnel caps, brackets, and antennas.
A small decal sheet provides funnel stripes, hull names, and flags.
There's been a flood of pre-dreadnought ships in kit form in recent years.
And this is a welcome addition to the collection. Next, from Zvezda, we have the 1/72nd scale SU-33.
This is the navalized flanker with folding wings and tailplanes designed to operate from the Russian carrier Admiral Kuznetsov.
The fuselage is split into upper and lower halves that show fine recessed details and panel lines.
Unlike with its SU-27, Zvezda molded the SU-33's upper fuselage as a single part that should simplify construction.
And the nose cone is a single part.
Cockpit detail is relatively simple, with a multi-part ejection seat, including optional harness or seated pilot. A standing pilot is also provided. Controls and an instrument panel with decal dials.
3-part intakes end at the front fans.
Well-detailed exhausts feature stators and afterburners.
In addition to fine panel lines, the vertical stabilizers have good hinge detail on the rudders.
The wings can be posed operational or folded, as can the flanker's unique folding stabilators. The flaps are separate and posable, but the leading edge slats are molded in place.
Wing fold and hinge detail is included.
Other features include sharp landing gear, wheels with separate brake hubs, posable speed brake, and boarding ladder and chocks.
The canopy can be posed open. More clear parts provide lights, the HUD, and infrared search lens,
The flanker carries a bunch of weapons.
including two types of R27 Alamo and R73 Archers.
Beautifully printed decals provide a lot of stencils, even some airframe elements like flush vents, and markings for 2 Russian Navy flankers.
This is a great-looking kit and should find a home amongst any collection of modern fighters.
The 4th kit on the menu is Trumpeter's 135th scale ZSU 57-2.
This Cold War-era anti-aircraft vehicle was used extensively by the Soviet Armed Forces and Eastern Bloc nations.
Trumpeter's kit starts with a lower hull molded with hatches and road wheel attachments.
Road wheel arms are keyed for alignment, and the 2-part drive sprockets and idlers have sharp bolts and ridges.
The road wheels share that quality and include separate hubs.
Individual link tracks finish the running gear.
The upper hull is a single part with crisp panel lines and fasteners.
Fuel tanks, tool, the exhaust, hatches, engine grills, and the unditching log detail the hull.
The square-formed turret has detail molded inside and out, and the basket is included as a single piece.
The gun barrels are each molded as a single piece with some molded holes in the muzzle brake and instructions to drill more. The ammunition racks are sharply molded.
The frames, loaders, controls, and mount have a lot of detail.
144 rounds fill the turret.
Photo etch parts provide engine grills, turret basket mesh, and straps and braces for the vehicle.
A small decal sheet and color diagram give markings for 4 ZSU 57-2 from the Soviet Union, Finland, and Syria.
This kit is a terrific addition to those available for Soviet and Russian armor fans and should be a great-looking replica for any collection. Our final kit today is Tarangus' 148 scale Bulldog Trainer.
Originally developed by Beagle Aircraft and built by Scottish Aviation, the light trainer served with the Royal Air Force.
As well as Sweden, Nigeria, Lebanon, Malaysia, Malta, Ghana, Botswana, and Jordan. Thank you.
Fine recessed panel lines crisscross the fuselage halves.
The wings show similar detail as well as raised features on the control surfaces.
The horizontal stabilizers incorporate the elevators, but the rudder is posable.
The spacious cockpit features separate panels for the side walls with controls and other details molded on.
The seats have molded cushions, but no belts are provided.
Other cabin features include the floor, pedals, joysticks, and oxygen tank.
The instrument panel with molded dials and controls fits under the large shroud.
The one-piece canopy would need to be modified to be posed open, but it's large enough to show the cockpit well.
Other clear parts include the rear side windows and lights.
A facsimile of the engine fills the intakes at the nose, but leaves plenty of room for the weight needed to keep the nose wheel grounded.
Spindly but nicely detailed landing gear supports the plane.
The airframe is studded with flap actuators and numerous antennas that are added at the end.
Decals provide markings for 4 brightly colored Bulldogs, 2 British and 1 each Maltese and Kenyan.
Color callouts are included throughout the instructions.
This is a great-looking model of a little kitted subject.
And it'll make a fine addition to any trainer collection.
Look for reviews of the M40, SU-33, ZSU 57-2, and Danton in upcoming issues of FineScale Modeler magazine.
And you can find more new products in the December issue on sale November 1st.
Thanks for visiting FineScale.com. I'm Elizabeth Nash.
And I'm making the grade. HobbyBoss's 1/350th scale. I'm so amazed I got through it, I couldn't think.
All right, moving on to my line. Launched in 1909 as the lead ship in her class.
Really? They don't even know what we're talking about yet.
They can Google it.
Really?